Good afternoon, everybody. How are y'all? Yes, thank you, Doctor Who Heather. We do have a new logo, we have a new intro, and a new outro. She's amazing, and I haven't even seen the outro, so I will be hanging around to do that also. So, how are y'all? Hey, Ben. Thank you, Heather, for everything. Aria, Blake. Hello, beautiful. And oh, what have I already missed? Thank you so much for the super chat. Yes. There's a reason that I definitely thank you so much for that. That I made this topic today. So, hey, Blake. Hey, y'all. Okay. So, there's so much. Heather, thank you. You've done so much. Um, there's a reason that I decided for this topic today. It's And I just got out of my therapy. Hey, Marie. So I still haven't even decompressed out of that yet. So I was running in here. Guess what, y'all? I hit go live on time today. I think I get a star for that. um, so men's mental health. There is an issue in our society that men don't necessarily talk about it, and that's true. It's harder for men to talk about it. That's true. Hi, Nicole. Thank you. Um, there's a lot that goes about the stigma, the reasons why. Regardless, this is not talked about enough, and we're going through this at my house right now. Uh, the pressure, the the anxiety, the OCD, the let's see. I mean, I'm sure I could sit here and name everything that we all have or or are going through, but women are more likely to get help for it. Men, y'all know who you are. You have. Um, let's see, pride. Right, man up. That's it. There you go. It's the pride thing. It's always being told. Yes, it's a stigma. That's exactly right. As young boys, they're told to man up. It's not right. Men are also allowed to have a. Oh yeah, they're not allowed to show emotions. Not at all. And yes, Heather, thank you. Men feel like they can't be vulnerable. That pride thing that they don't. You should be able to get over it. I should be able to handle this myself. Okay, well, can you handle a broken bone or diabetes by yourself? You know, I mean, that's me being sarcastic, but that's my point I'm making. So there's some things you cannot just make go away by yourself, um, no matter how bad you want to. And I had pulled up the stigma. We always say in the stigma, in the stigma. Well, um, not for men. It's different. It's different, especially the blue collar, works every day for everything that he's ever had, um, no college, that especially Heather, my husband calls it libiditis because he refuses to have any done with the word die in it. That's hilarious. No, that really is funny though, the way that I like the way that's you said that. That makes me think of some things I could start uh renaming. But the it's mainly blue collar Gen X, and I'm saying that loosely there, but it's mainly Gen X. Yes, and that is my generation that has a hard time, you know, um, that has a hard time asking for help or knowing when they need help. Um, let's see, and hang on, Marie, let me see what you have to say here, dear. So true. In many families and cultures, people are taught to not air dirty laundry, but it's worse for men. Yes, and then and exactly what you can't Hello Beautiful said, you know, it's a stigma. Men don't ask for help. Men don't have that. Thank you, my dear. Hey, Journey, how are you? Thank you. Now I'm not so stressed to have somebody backstage. I was on time. Um, it what is how are you doing, Journey? The problem is, and this is a big one, and this is from experience. If a man gets to the point that he does reach out, you know, we have the 988 and all of that, and we talk about 988 all the time. And this is from personal experience. Oh, you're only here when you're supposed to be here. Don't be sorry about anything, my dear. Hey, awakened. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I just got out of therapy. Don't worry. Journey, you need to call me after this. Um, but so when they do get the nerve, and that takes a lot of nerve to ask for help when you're a man, you know, and I know this. And when they get the nerve to finally ask for help and they call 988 and they turn around and their yard is full of EMS and police officers. Do you think they're ever going to call and ask for help again? Not likely. And that's what they're facing right now because of if you say certain words, even you know that they don't mean it or they know they don't mean it. But just like me being a required reporter, if I hear someone saying certain words, I have to report it. And just because they say they feel like, or, you know, somebody jumped the gun and, you know, said that they thought they said they were going to. And there's a big difference in that. That's where, you know, mental health first aid comes in. That's where when you're the tip of the sword, the outcry witness, that's the tip of the sword. And if they don't get it right, it could damage somebody forever asking for help again. And especially if they need it. So, I pulled up some stuff I wanted to share, and I hope that StreamYard today is going to be nice to us. And please be big. I tried to make this big, and I really want it to work. I really want it to work. Okay. Oh, which one am I looking at right here? Oh, I'm so scared it's not going to be big, but we're going to figure it out. Oh, no. Yeah, that's what I want. No, that's not. Okay. All right, y'all. Okay, so here we go. So it says that the US male population, 151,781,326,000 US males estimated. Just depression alone, 6 million males are affected by it. That's a lot of people affected by a very dangerous disease like depression, because we all know what depression can lead to and what really dark holes it can take us down. So 1 in 5 adults, we already talked about this before, but I just as a reminder, 1 in 5 adults are going to have a mental health problem every year. I mean, it's not a stigma anymore. It's just mental health is health. Right, Awaken. Thank you. Yes. Um, you know, serious mental illness costs 193 billion dollars in lost earnings per year. Imagine if we were hey Mandy, imagine if we were proactive on this. Heather, absolutely. Thank you. Look, When you repress emotions or don't talk through what is bothering me, that is when I display anger. That is typical, very typical, especially just go back to the male population, what we're talking about. And, they're how many of us have seen angry, angry men, because they're going through something and you're like, don't take it out on me. It's just, they're not taking it out on you. You may be the only person in the world that they have to talk to you about, and they're so angry. And just like Heather said, it just turns to anger. Uh, so out of everything, of the 5 major mental health problems, anxiety anxiety is the most is the largest category. Uh, and I'll get to that, show you in a minute. I know these don't really, it's depression. Over 6 million men suffer from depression per year. Male depression often goes undiagnosed. Why? Because they're unlikely to report it. They're more likely to say that yes, anxiety. They're more likely to report fatigue, irritability, loss of interest in work and hobbies, rather than the feelings of sadness or worthlessness. My husband developed depression. Yes, because they will self-medicate. Thus, the vicious cycle begins. Uh, and on anxiety, not approximately 19.1 million American adults aged 18 to 54 have an anxiety disorder. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Then you have bipolar. Then you have psychosis and schizophrenia. Eating disorders. Yes, men do have eating disorders. Um, Males count for an estimated 10% of patients with anorexic or bulimia, and an estimated 35% of those with binge eating disorders. And they're less likely to ask for help. Now, let's see what the number one cause here. Wait. Fast facts. The highest unaliving rates in the U.S. are found in Caucasian men over the age of 85. Let that sink in for a minute. Over the age of 85. I'm going to give y'all all, please, somebody tell me why. Because I want to see if everybody just has the same kind of, it's all opinions here. So, except for facts that I can prove, it's just opinions. And this only doesn't, loneliness, right? Loss of a spouse, loss of their kids moving out, their grandkids moving out, any and all of the above. Yes, absolutely. Their friends dying off. Absolutely, loneliness. Anybody else? Come on. Trying to be interactive here. But so yes, that's a big one, Marie. PTSD, yes, yeah, because most of them are gonna have went through. Hey, Susie, how are you? Glad you're here. Health issues, Nicole, yes. And the PTSD not recognized, yes. All the answers. I absolutely, absolutely. Now, um, okay, hang on. In Mexico, talking about your problems makes you. That's right, men don't cry. That's what I'm saying. Yes, Marie, absolutely. Denial, regrets. That's awaken. That's a good one, actually. That's really a good one because just like I say about my mental health patients, when they don't have family that ever sees them in years or ever, because we don't know what their past history is with them. But that doesn't mean that they don't have one. Hey, Tampa Bay man, I'm glad you made it. That doesn't mean that they don't have one. That means that we don't know what they are. So when they don't have family, but we know that they have family, we don't know those circumstances. Hey, Maya, how are you? So what they do is as they're getting older and more lonely, and everything that you've all said is absolutely correct. It all, we don't know what makes them, what pushes them to the point, knowing maybe that they're near the end. Any and all, y'all were all, thank you for helping me with and participating with that. So if you do have an elderly neighbor, you know, maybe check on them every now and then. It might make a world of difference. Oh, Ben, it's you and me that have all these issues, I promise. Um, Male suicides uh, oops, have been on the rise since 2000. It's the seventh leading cause of death among males, accounting for 2.2% of all male deaths in 2011. That's a lot. Um, the gender disparity, more than 4 times as many men than women die by unaliving themselves in 2010. So in 2010, 38,364 Americans died by unaliving, and over three quarters, 79%, were men. Once again, same thing goes. Men are less likely to get treatment or ask for help. Sexual orientation, gay and bisexual men are more likely to develop mental health disorders than heterosexual men. Gay males are at an increased risk for suicide attempts, especially before the age of 25, which is in itself one of the saddest things I think I've read. Susie, your dad suffered from depression, I'm so sorry. Yes. Yes. And that's what happens. I'm so sorry. Wait, let me see. Blake, we need to address this. Every time I have cried due to fear, pain, or frustration, it still feels like I've lessened myself or my worth as a man. I'm going to let the chat take that one because I believe that Blake, in my eyes, you're more of a man. Because if you have, that's right, Nicole, there you go. I knew it was coming. You see that, Blake? If that makes you more of a self-aware man. Thank you, Hermina. Absolutely. And Mandy, yes, there are a lot of neurodivergent men who went towards substance abuse. Yes, self-medication. Self-medication. Um, it's Blake, you are the generation that's going to save this planet, save this world, save this country, save whatever you want, save humanity, because y'all are so wise. And you, Blake, I know you are. And I think it's so much easier to block that off and not be vulnerable. But to me, you're more of a man when you become vulnerable. Because to me, that lets me know that you have empathy, and because I can tell you that I have an issue, and because you are able to feel empathy, I'm more likely to come to you. So in any sense, to me, that is more of becoming a man than being closed off and shut everyone out because of it. And Sharon said, Blake, I think that makes you more caring on more men. It's like more caring. Yes, more men need to be like you. Absolutely. Hang on, let's see wait, let me get this. I would much rather have a man who could show his emotions and cry than a man who couldn't. See, I mean, look, I mean, this is just Blake. I think that makes you more caring, and more men need to be like you. Absolutely. Men who can admit they're in an unhealthy place are heroes. Exactly. And somebody said something. I've got to go back up here and find it. Hang on. Here we go. Okay, so this one. The trans gay community is a higher risk for unaliving themselves because of the acceptance or lack thereof of the people around them. That's exactly right. That's exactly correct. So, I mean, they're at an increased risk before age of 25. That's unbelievable. Hey, Sophia, vulnerability is strength. Yes. And then there's other risk factors. And, social isolation, substance abuse. Here's the big one, unemployment. Unemployment, military-related trauma, genetic predisposition. We all have a genetic predisposition or can have, Um, other mood disorders put individuals at a higher risk for unaliving themselves. Yes, less men are going to college. Yes. Wow, Ben. Wow. Chase Hughes. Let me put that up there for everybody. That Mandy, I should have collabed with you on this one because I have been studying, I have been deep diving. When feelings are suppressed, they come out in less healthy ways. Absolutely. Okay, so let's see. Here's those less healthy ways, y'all. Substance abuse, alcohol dependency. 1 in 5 men develop alcohol dependency during their life, and that is also 1 in 5 will develop a mental health, issue. So guess what? You get a comorbidity going. I mean, I'm sorry, dual diagnosis going. That's not a good thing, and it's hard to break that cycle. It's very hard to get somebody with dual diagnosis because they usually have dual diagnosis because they are trying to self-medicate from their own mental illness. Gay, here it goes. Substance abuse. Gay and bisexual men are more likely to have high rates of substance abuse than heterosexual men. Military veterans. Y'all were all right on it. Look, here's some famous athletes with mental illness. Brandon Marshall. He's his borderline personality disorder. Um, Terry Bradshaw. Clinical depression. Larry Sanders. Anxiety and depression. Keon Dooling. PTSD. Jim Pearsall. Bipolar disorder. And then manic depression. And Earl Campbell. And these are all familiar names to, well, all of us that do a lot of sports. Yeah, that would be me. Panic and anxiety disorder. So, no one is immune from it. It does not discriminate. Mental illness does not discriminate, ever. I mean, these are some of the most famous sports players in history. In the science of men's mental health, low levels of testosterone are correlated with depression, stress, and mood swings, especially among older men. And who said that? I think you said that, Mandy, didn't you? I'm looking to see if Mandy. I think she said ED, which is also the low, the low, the cause of that low testosterone. Yeah, no, that's the truth. Yes, ED, because it right here, low levels of testosterone are correlated with depression, stress, and mood swings, especially among older men, and that is the truth. So, I mean, these are facts. This right here is not in my opinion. These are facts, and all this will be listed in the description whenever this ends. I'm going to go add all of these into the description. Seeking treatment. Men are less likely than women to seek help for depression, substance abuse, and stressful life events due to social norms. That stigma again. Reluctance to talk, downplaying the symptoms. You know, we, it's just, It's sad that our men face with this, and the amount of stress that they are under, losing their jobs, you know, absolutely, Tampa Bay. Hey, Power, how are you? Yes, it can affect their partner's mental health, absolutely. Um, so here, think of the pressure a man has to provide for his family. Okay, he's a but blue collar worker, been working, his whole life since he was old enough to work. Yes, men need to be needed. Uh, Providing for his family, doing everything he can do and does it right. Does it right. I mean, being the best father he could be, being the best partner he could it's just so much. And then you go to work one day and you find out that job's gone. So you last a little long, so you got some money saved up. You last 1 month. Now you're starting to get more stress because I'm not finding a job. Let's see what else. Uh, I've made all these calls. I have to wait 6 weeks for unemployment. I I'm gonna pay all my bills right now, as many as I can pay, but then what am I gonna do? How am I gonna find food? I sure can't ask for help now, I don't have insurance. Let's see, I mean, this could go on and on, but this is the pressures in the mind of a man, and I'm not a man, and I'm trying to figure it out, but this is what I have observed. Um, then they start feeling down on themselves. I'm worthless, I'm useless. Refuses to accept help from anybody. You know, that there's that pride thing. Pride goeth before the fall. Um, so wait, let me see. Yeah, I like this right here. That's also a social stigma. Be a man, provide, etc. That's something society has placed on them. It's not right. Same as women being the house cleaner, etc. It should be equal. Yeah, and men here in the South, it's really not a stigma. It's really that's what they're raised in believing. I mean, they literally that's how they're raised. And they say men are problem solvers, so it's hard for them when they feel helpless. Exactly. I mean, the men. No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the blue collar, go to work every day, provide for your family. They were raised that way. They were raised that you're supposed to provide for your family and you don't ask for handouts. That's a belief. Yes, social pressure. Yes. But it's really bad when that social pressure when they're believing this and they won't accept help. And then, like I said, you're going through your bank account, you're going through and unemployment hasn't started. You cannot find another job. Here we go. We are at the end of the bank account. There's no more money at the end of the month. So what do? I'm going to start getting depressed because I have to ask for help. And then here comes this vicious cycle of depression, anxiety, um, the mood disorders, the mood swings, the anger, hey, Janet, welcome in. How are you? It's just that cycle doesn't end because then, okay, oh, wait, somebody called. I got a job. Okay, so you're thinking to yourself, yes, it's going to get better from here. Okay, well, that job's going to start um, about a week before I'm going to get my unemployment. And then I have to wait 2 weeks before I get a check from this job. So we're still going to be depressed and we're still going to have to ask for help. And it seems like there's always red tape everywhere you go. I mean, when you're down, it seems like everything is down. Like nothing is going to go your way. Me, I handle it my way. A lot of people handle it their own way, which is all the right way because, it's our lives. Me, I just walk by faith. That's all I can do. That's me though. I got that from my mama. And so they get this job And they yes, Mandy, that's another one. Yes. They are very less likely to report because of the social stigma, same stigma on them here. Exactly. And, Maya, that because of Hey, Jay, because of the way they're raised, like, I know that my other half, he's always raised that you provide for the family. Blake saying yes. Oh, wait, let's see, Blake or wait. Which one are you talking about? It's true. Oh, okay. Um, I just know that when a man cannot change you can't change the way they're raised. I mean, especially when they're in their late 50s, that's instilled in them to work hard, provide for their family. Uh, he's got two girls here. Um, one just turned 20 and one is about to turn 30, I think. Or 29, I think they're 10 years apart, 9 or 10 years apart. The one that was in college for chemical engineering decided she didn't want to do that. She stayed home and she wanted to be a housewife and she wanted to be a mom. Her husband's got a great job. Uh, and we eventually got the new grandbaby. Eventually, because she wasn't supposed to be able to have him. So, yes, he is our little miracle. And he is the cutest but spoiled thing. And that's okay too, because it's probably the only one they're going to have. I mean, they've been trying for years, so I'm very proud of that. And she wanted to be, "Hey, Liz, how are you? My girl here. Thank you, Liz. Love you." Um, okay, Mandy, I will. Thank you. Yes, I should have got with you before I did this. Um, so she wanted to stay home, let her husband work, and that's perfect. That's what they decided they wanted together. We have a 20-year-old that just got accepted into the nursing school, and she starts in January. And she could care less about boys. And she's the blonde hair. Yeah, I'm sure you've all seen Shelby on here with me. She's like the blonde hair, beautiful, cheerleader all through high school, straight A's. But she's a great kid, and her mind is focused on nursing and getting her nurse practitioner, and that's all she wants to do. She I mean, she was the high school varsity cheerleader dating the quarterback of the football team. I mean, and she nope, she didn't want that either. She's focused on her school, which thank you, Lord. And so she'll be one that will be part of what we're talking about. She'll be one that's going to provide. The other one, she stays home. She wants to be at home, and the men have to provide. And that's just like okay, so my other half, he feels like and he was raised and he provides. And he works very hard to do that. So when I see him um literally going through struggling and he's not asking for help, I'm like, we need to talk, you know? And it's gotten easier. It's gotten a lot easier the more you make that stigma go away and the more you talk about it like a normal everyday thing in your household, men should not have to worry about reporting that they need help. I love this too, Heather, and I love you, Heather. Thank you so much for everything. Um, and if you notice, say something. The see something, say something. Yeah, what is it? See something, say something. That's a big deal because they won't. uh, so, and I want to know why this did not come up. Dadgummit. I pulled something up, y'all, and it didn't come up. And now I'm really worried about this since it all didn't come up. It's this I want to share here. And I'm gonna put some of hey, Brian, I'm gonna put this um, in the description also. Whoa, wrong one. Come on, Keela, get with it. I have to stop screen. Um, okay. So all of these right here, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. There is the 1-800-273-TALK, or there's 988. Contact Lifeline Crisis Chat or National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI. NAMI is an exceptional being right. It's an exceptional organization. And you can text NAMI 741-741. I mean, it's that simple. NAMI, they are such great, they have all kind of resources for you. Anything. If now 911, obviously, if you see someone's life is in danger. But if you see that, then you have 988, but you also can text NAMI, and then you have the 1-800-273-TALK. I wanted to share those, and I will put them in the description. So we have this thing, the men are going through. June is actually Men's Mental Health Month, but November is now called Movember, and what men are doing, and it started in the UK, and it's just or no, I'm sorry, Australia, and it's just it's made its way around. So what they've started doing is growing mustaches in November, so that and this is what I probably should have to click on that maybe. So that men can start asking each other questions. And it says like, and I didn't get this anagram, Alec. I mean, I've got to go get it. But the first one's ask. Start by asking how he's feeling. It's worth mentioning any changes you've picked up on. Maybe he's spending more time at that bar, or has gone quiet in the group chat, or isn't turning up to social events. Whatever it is, he's just not his self. We all know that. We all know when people aren't in our chats, we know that if you don't see somebody for a day or two, it's time to start looking for them. Trust your instincts. That's a big one, y'all. Trust your instincts. Remember, people often say, I'm fine, when they're not. So ask twice. And or you can always just, I know I don't have this big enough for you to see, or for me in my old eyes anyway. Trust your instincts. Okay, so you could say, it's just that you haven't been replying to my text, and that's just not like you. Or you haven't come to visit. Or you haven't picked up your phone. That's just not like you. Or you haven't been in my chat a few days. That's just not like you. I want to check and see if everything was okay, if I could do something for you. Just begin that conversation, because that conversation may be what saves that person's life. You never know. Just start the conversation. I'm going to click on this just because maybe this is what I was looking for earlier and it's gone. We'll see what happens. If it works, I will share it. Unemployment is like the worst. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. There's Alec. Now I got it. Oh, why does this do this to me? This is it. This is Alec. Ask, listen, encourage action, and check in. Okay, thank you, Awakened. Thank you for being here. Have a good day. So remember when we did mental health first aid, algae? Well, this is for men's mental health. Alec. And it's ask, listen, love you, and thank you so much. Misha, I appreciate you being here. Encourage action, check in. And I'll put all this on the community pages and everything. Where, everybody will have access to it. Myth busting therapy, and a for you and a guy in your life who could benefit from it. Therapy for men. I'm not going to play all of this because I'm not going to get in trouble. But there's some great articles in here, and it will be in the description. And they have lots of articles on here. So, um, then, and these are just resources, y'all, that I wanted to give to y'all. And I'm not trying to be boring. I'm going to go back and look and everybody's questions and talk and everything. I just wanted to get this out there while I definitely have the chance to do this. I want everybody to know they're not alone. You see this? I want everybody to think about that. Think about that. Watch that hand on that clock. One just did. When it reaches it back around, another one just did. Can your mind even grasp that? I mean, can your mind grasp that? Brian, that is great. You've used the Veterans Crisis Hotline. Good. Good, good. So, do you see the importance of recognizing that men need mental help also? Because this is very, very real. And every number, just like every person, is a real human being. And that is, it shouldn't be this way. Mental health is health. It's all healthcare. Another one, bam, gone. Just while we were just talking. That's two. Every single minute of every single day, we lose somebody to this. And that's not a statistic that's okay with me. And it's the same thing that, we can't sit back and accept this. In the US, the rate of male unaliving is 4 in 5 of the unalivings are men. And everybody knows why. You've all said it. Thank you, Blake. Thank you. Thank you. It is because of this mental health resource. This mental health resources must remain indiscriminate, such as this channel. Human life is precious and you all matter. Blake, thank you. And thank you for your super chat. Thank you. Mandy has nearly 12 men lose their lives to unaliving every day, or approximately 4,200 a year. That is not even acceptable, guys. We've got to look in on each other and take better care. I'm like this right here. 4 and 5 are men. And we can't sit back and accept these terms. I'm with them right there. So that's where the mustache, this has all their stories. I'll put this in there. The taking action, education. This is how they're saying this is how to win this fight, okay? Education, helping men and boys to stay mentally healthy, build strong social connections, and take action early when times are tough. Don't wait for them to come and ask for help. Conversations that matter. Working toward a world where men and boys are comfortable having conversations about the big things in life. And that's what we've been discussing. It's if you start when they're small and make this a routine, there's no taboo, there's no stigma. But you get to my generation and men just don't talk about that, you know? But if we can raise our children up to learn that it's okay to talk about this, that's what's going to make the big difference. Services that work for men. We know the needs of men, and they're this website making sure that services are designed with those needs in mind. Yes, Brian, you're right. Asking for help is hard to do, but we can do hard things. It takes one click to a friend of a message. It takes one phone call. That's it. That's all it takes. And it's so hard to make that first step, but once you do, when you're on the other side of this event or whatever that's causing this, guess what? You're gonna look back and be so thankful that you did it. Bright minds brought together. They're funding the most innovative projects. And yes, Nicole, I agree with that. I'm putting that up there real quick. Yes, there's a stigma, but I find if you ask and listen, a lot of guys will open up. Yes, because they have the Amanda. Yep, the suck it up, buttercup. No one cares how you feel. That's exactly right. That's the stigma that men. That's why men do not share what they're going through. And Gen X is probably the worst. Probably. Um, Community first. Men need to be able to access support in their communities and where they are comfortable. There's no one size fits all solution. There isn't for men or women. And advocating for all men. We're forcing governments to understand the issues that men are facing and they're demanding action. And I think this is great information. And there's so much stuff here. Um, Making Connections Initiative. You know, the Movember conversations. It's practical guidance on how to support men who might be struggling. Friends, family, and colleagues can all use this interactive tool to gain the skills and confidence to approach challenging conversations with the men in their lives. I'm going to go ahead and paste this one into the chat because this one is all about the mustaches. It tells you what it's all about, but it will be in the description. It's all over the world. Things are being done. Wellbeings it's called Wellbeings is a major public media project produced by PBS to raise awareness about youth mental health and to reduce stigma and other barriers to seeking care. November is a proud sponsor of the initiative, which will reach millions of Americans via radio and digital content and engagement tour in 24 cities across the nation, educational resources, and featuring a documentary airing. It's already aired, 2022. So, but I mean, they do the Indigenous land-based program, social innovators, ahead of the game. This is just really, really neat. The Family Man uses the latest parenting strategies that support happier homes and better mental health. I have not looked at that. I'm not going to say yes or no. I've not looked at their tools that they have, but they do have tools in there. There's just so much information, and it's all mental health and suicide prevention projects. Um, and did I go to here? There we go. Just a second, guys. I'm bringing one more on for you. And then I'm going to do the questions. Wait, did I not do the right one? I did, I hope. Let's see. Yay, I did it. Yeah, I'm learning. Okay, and I wish I could make it big, but I don't think I can. No, it's not. Let me make it any bigger. So, okay, so this is, let me go back up here. Signs of depression in men. This is all about mental health for men. We've already talked about why don't young men seek mental health care? This one, mental illness in men, signs, common disorders, and help. I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to go to the key takeaways. But male mental health statistics show that 1 in every 10 men struggle with anxiety and or depression. But this is likely an underestimate, as men are less likely to report mental illness. So we know 1 in 5 suffer from some sort of a mental health issue. So 1 in 10 has anxiety and or depression. Hey, Sophie. Is Sophie in or Sophia? I don't know if I missed somebody or not. I'm going back, I promise y'all. Um, Many men don't seek mental health care due to stigma or because they have trouble expressing what they're feeling. So only about half of those who are struggling get help, right? Yeah, this is sad. These statistics should not be accepted by any of us, anyone. That's got to get better. The most common mental health conditions in men include depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, PTSD, and substance use disorder. Gender response, individualized care can help men to better understand themselves and to create a toolkit of healthy coping strategies for dealing with stress and emotional pain. I'm not sure. Another tragedy, guess that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? Um, about, young men seek mental health care. They don't want to be weak. They should be tough. But society still teaches men to be tough. Well, difficulty recognizing what they are feeling and misrepresenting depression or anxiety as a normal stressor. Hey, Nico. Yes. How are you, Nico? Believing they should be able to handle hard feelings on their own without professional help, and reluctance to share their emotions with a professional because they get told, suck it up, buttercup. My baby sister, she's 10 years younger than me. So I guess I'm gonna tell her age. She's 40. It was in 2006 or I'm sorry, yeah, 2007. She got married for her first husband. Um, they got married in January of 2007, and October 7th of 2007, same year, she goes and wakes up. Wait, let's see this. Persuasive, but takes it crosses for my husband to get medical or mental health. Yeah, medical, especially, exactly. Thank you, exactly. Medical is hard enough, much less getting mental health because of the stigma. Men just have this thing about them. But Ricky, my brother-in-law, my sister, they were married for 10 months. She wakes up and just say that he's no longer on this earth. Uh, all because he lost his job. They had been on Clomid trying to get pregnant. They didn't think they were, she's got one baby now, and that's all she could have. She had to get a hysterectomy. But think about this: how young she was, and she found her husband like she found him, and she'll never get over that. And that is what now she's remarried finally, and she's got my beautiful, beautiful niece, Berlin, that I love with all my heart. Um, we don't know what made him do this. His dad's a pastor. His mom was the nicest lady you've ever met. His sister's it was just amazing. Ricky was just an amazing human being, and he made this world a great, brighter place. Hang on, Nico. What he does type not to get help. Didn't even get physio. See, yeah, suck it up. That suck it up has got to stop. We've got to do better. We got to be better as a society. To help men get the care they need, friends and family can learn the signs of male mental illness and ask questions when they see those signs in their loved ones. And the five, and we're going to go, I'm not staying on here, but depression, you know, and we already said 4 to 5, but the signs of depression in men: aggression, violence, high risk activities, problem substance use, binge drinking, um, physical issues such as chronic headaches or stomach aches, appetite and weight change, fatigue, obsessive thinking, obsessive thinking. 988-911. And here's your know the facts. 49% of men feel more depressed than they are willing to admit to the people around them. And 45% believe mental health issues can be solved when, what did we talk about earlier? On their own, according to a Today Show of a survey of 1,000 men. But that's exactly what we've been saying, on their own, on their own. So, but then you have the anxiety, and that's the top one that they most likely suffer from. Then you have substance use disorder, and there's all the signs. The link will be in the description. PTSD and bipolar, and it tells you how that you can help. Tells you how to get that, getting treatment. And there's so much. There's just so much. I'm not. I'm gonna put obsessive thinking is a big thing. It's really a big thing, y'all. Yes, Blake, absolutely. Obsessive thinking is a big issue. And Blake, what I would say from one friend to another is get out of that, space, get out of that headspace. Break that cycle. What Ben knows exactly. Ben can tell you exactly what to do about division and math, and start thinking about something else to get out of that cycle, to move your mind. Yes, and Blake, you do. I mean, I'm not one to say nothing, but catastrophizing is a big one. Yes, the obsessive thinking, and it's. I think we all have that. I mean, that's not something that, you know, uh, but it's sad. It's a sad situation that I mean, yeah, his worst case, Blake goes to that worst case scenario, and I think a lot of us do, and I think that we do that because yes, that you can be predisposed to a lot of mental health disorders. Absolutely, you can be, or it can come out of nowhere. They just don't know enough about it yet. But most of them can be traced back through genetic. You'll be predisposed of having them because somebody else had it in your family, your mom or your dad. Absolutely. Um, I think that probably we just need to make this conversation louder. How do you make it louder? You get more voices speaking about it. Because as long as we keep quiet, there's not going to be anybody to help. You know, the I'm just saying that I know that men. No, like you're absolutely right. You're a man, and you know that those are the things that cause you the most detriment to your mental health. Absolutely. Brian says your dad had issues with depression. Yeah, there's a lot of predisposed. Unfortunately, that's the way it is, and we can't help what we're predisposed to. But we can get insight, we can get treatment, we can ask for help, and that's the main thing of men. We need to get them to start asking for help. Normalize the conversation in your households. Normalize it. Don't let it be a taboo subject. Talk to your children, talk to your spouse, talk to your grandparents, your parents, what your siblings, whatever. Just to me, are younger men finding it a bit easier to ask for help? I don't know. Let's ask the young men in here. Blake, I'm going to ask you. Nico, Blake. I don't know who all's in here that could answer that. Let me go back up here. Yes, this. Yeah, I have some neat things there. 52 weeks. Oh, it's up there on the thing. Are younger men finding it a bit easier to ask for help? I know that. Okay, so Gen X. I'm going to say for Gen X, no, they're not. Not where I'm from in the South. No, um, because they refuse to do it. Because they were always raised blue collar workers. You didn't ask for help. You could fix it on your own. That's what I had said. But yeah, are younger men finding it a bit easier to ask for help? Okay, hang on. Here we go. It depends on the person I'm around. My parents, no. My coworkers or you or some internet friends, very easy. That's good. That's good, Blake. Um, I think a lot of it, what we were looking at earlier about the mustache, the Movember, because men are wearing these mustaches. Let's see, I'm Gen X too, so many women my age are openly, and the guys not so much. That's what we went over earlier. The guys are the ones that have the roughest time to get help, and they carry the biggest burden because of societal pressure. See, there you go. Power. We're Gen X. Yes, we man up. And that's what you're told all the time. Gen X, and especially our generation of Gen X. Man up, get it over with. You can do it. Nico, very important for men to have safe spaces to be open. Yes, I agree with that. And the way that I see that, and this is opinion only, and this is coming from Gen X, men need to know that it's okay that they have somewhere to go, that they're not going to be embarrassed. Like their family's not going to have to be informed about it. They don't have to share it if they don't want to. The biggest issue is men having a place to go for the help. Even if they're sitting in their vehicle on their lunch hour and they can make a call. They just need to be able to ask for it or to find it. But the more that we normalize these conversations around our households and our children, the better and easier it will be for them to ask for help, because it's not going to be so taboo. And not the Gen X, our generation was the worst to ever go through this, I believe. Well, maybe my grandfather, but you just didn't talk about mental health. You were raised to get over it. And that's not, I mean, and that's why 85 and up, the number one leading cause of death is unaliving themselves. Besides natural death. Sorry, I should have added that in there. So let me get to the star comments, and I have something I wanted to show y'all. Wait, let's see. Susie, Gen X men, as I experience, choose alcohol to numb depression. Yes. Unfortunately, self-medication is a real thing. And that's where you go back to oh, Lord help me. That's when you go back to the dual diagnosis, because once they start self-medicating and then you have a dual diagnosis, and it's just compounded on compound on compound, and things are just getting way worse, and you want to catch it before it goes that far. And I'm going to go through these. Yes, hello, beautiful again. Thank you for your super chat. I'm so glad this topic is being discussed. Yes, absolutely, and thank you. Tampa B. Bacon Ben, I stole your words and shared them with everyone. Never let anyone recruit you to hate someone's that's never harmed you. And I love that. And I'm so glad, because Ben, we are all using that. Thank you for that. And I know that Misha's not here and she had to leave, but men have always been expected to be the strong provider, if unable to be even independent for themselves for whatever reason. Society and their own self-blame would have to be hard. That's exactly what the men in especially Gen X, goes through right now, but we've got to normalize this and stop the stigma, and we can do this. Blake says, the issue I've always seen is that men and women are typically brought up in a singular form. I'm not even going to try that way. It's a male brought up in that can't check all the boxes off. It causes a lot of developmental issues. Interesting, wise young man. Very interesting. Can't check all the boxes. I think you might be onto something here, Blake. Very interesting. Thank you for your super chat, Blake. It is because of this that mental health resources must remain indiscriminate, such as this channel. Human life is precious and you all matter. 100% agree. And thank you for that, Blake. I don't think that any of us will ever have it always figured out. Ever. Hang on, power. Let's see. Alcohol is is a self-depressing path. Yale did a study of men over 70. Alcohol was the single item between happy men and other. Self-medication, because that generation is not going to ask for mental health, and depression is the number one issue. We need to just be aware of our loved ones or our neighbors, take care of each other. If you notice that something is wrong, take care of it. Go see something, say something. See something, say something, always. Hey, Red, how are you? Let's see. Difficult to find a gentleman my age that's not an alcoholic. Very sad. Yes, that actually is very sad. That truly is. Wow. Wow. Ben, I need you to come on. We need to have that discussion when you can, to again about the stopping the brain from that cycle. That is very sad, Red. So I bought these. Emotional mind, yep, it's good at emotions, but terrible at logic. I agree with that. And so I thought I'm going to take one of these out maybe a week or so. I guess it says 52 weeks. So, and the first one is the introduction. Thank you, Indigo. Thank you. So I'm going to read you all this, and I'm going to put them on the community page, and it'll be in the Facebook group too. This is a deck of 52 breathe work cards. It offers breathing techniques designed to reduce stress, enhance focus, and promote well-being. It gives you the instructions and exercise and everything before you even start. I mean, you just read it, and then what you can't do, you only do what you can do, and you don't have to do any of it. Just, I'm going to put one of these, and I've not looked at, I'm going to the ones I haven't looked at already. I thought it was really neat. So I got these. Okay, so here's where I ended up. And I will post it. It says, breathing, according to me, corresponds to taking charge of one's own life. Luce Irigari. Wait, what did I have to say? I guess I didn't say that right. Lucy, come on, focus. There we go. Maybe. Not going to focus. Okay. It won't focus, but there we go. Breathing, according to me, corresponds to taking charge of one's own life. So it's called the triangle. So I turned it over, and on the back, it's triangle breathing. Everybody knows box breathing. This one is triangle breathing. Create a rectangle, okay, I'll get it right here in a minute. Your purpose is creates a triangular pattern of breath with equal counts, fostering balance and concentration through I can't read this little. Dear Lord, I need more glasses. Through inhalation. Now I'm in trouble. I'm in real trouble. I think it's time for me to go get new glasses when I can't read with my glasses on. I hope there's not in here anymore. Yeah, it is. Everybody can get a good laugh at this one for me. And yes, I'm using a magnifying glass. Creates a triangular pattern of breath with equal counts, fostering balance and concentration through intentional inhalation, retention, and exhalation. And then it's the position is sit or lie down comfortably, and you hold after exhale. Try to increase hold length for 3 rounds. You inhale for 4 seconds, you exhale for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds. So it's the try. This is what I'm just gonna do one of these a week. We'll post them. I'm gonna post them. They're really neat. Um, so it's just breathing according to me corresponds to taking charge of one's own life. And I kind of agree with that because breathing, we do all this stuff with our breath that controls everything in us. Okay, wait a minute, that's a good one. Hold my breath without even realizing it. How many of us find ourselves holding our breath, clenching our jaws, or doing this? Because during mindfulness in our shoulders, mindfulness, the very first thing it teaches is relaxation. And the first thing that I literally have to think about is relaxing my jaws. Then I think about, okay, my head right here, and I'll just touch it. And then when I do my jaw, my shoulders, I have to remember to drop them. And if I do that, and I mean, if I have to touch it to remember, that's fine. But here, I always have to touch, and I'll relax my jaw, relax my shoulders, and then put my hands down. Then I'll start when I'm supposed to start on my mindfulness. But if I'm holding my breath, or my jaws are clenched, or my shoulders are tightened up, or I'm doing this, it's not going to matter what I do. I'm still so tensed up. I'm not giving myself time to heal it, from that. So yes, I mentally and physically do this before my mindfulness, and try to do this throughout the day. So I just touch here, and it triggers that memory for me. Oh, thank you, K-Mac. I appreciate you. So I'm going to put these on the Facebook and on the community page along with all the other stuff. And let's see, Marie, it's important to breathe in and out for the same count. Yes. Or you can hyperventilate. Yes. And hold for this on the triangle, breathing and hold. Absolutely. And it says 4, but you could start at 2 if that's all you can do, or 1. I mean, that's totally up to you. But it's just a way to relax, and I truly believe in mindfulness because you have control over you. You have control over your body and everything. And it's just a way to calm yourself and center yourself. And when you're strung full of anxiety, like most of us are, it's nice to have that relaxed feeling. So, but that's what it was about. Okay, y'all. Well, I have very much enjoyed all of you, and I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate the mods and Hamina back here. Thank you so much. Y'all have all done amazing. I appreciate your support for this channel. You don't even know. Ben, I need to get with you at some point, please, sir. And y'all, I really, truly appreciate y'all supporting this channel. I put everything I have into getting the information for this channel, and to help. I mean, it's just pure support. We're doing yes, sir. I'm from the South. Don't you know that? And I do appreciate all the mods. They work so hard and to make this a very, very safe space. But I will see y'all later. Thank you so much. And I will probably be back on tomorrow if things go as planned. And I will let y'all know ahead of time. Thank you. And y'all have a great day and a great rest of your weekend.